Gentlemen, please listen, take a heed. This is Democracy Manifest, that's the creed. I've done nothing wrong, can you not see? What is the charge you've laid on me? This bloke right here, he's done me wrong. Got me on the penis, stood there strong. Why did you go and do this deed? Is there a reason I need to heed? Eating a meal, a succulent feast. This is my crime, oh what a beast. Why do you charge me for what I feel? Is it wrong to enjoy a Chinese meal?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I am Will Bozarth.
I am Brent Irwin.
And this is the Succulent Chinese Podcast.
It is. And view change. I didn't mean having the zoomed in one. Oh, well.
We clicked it at the exact same time, so that was perfect.
No, I fucking Karnak the Magnificent did that shit. I knew you were going to do it. Hi-yo! Although that was not Karnak. But hey.
That's right, Eternal Champion Breath.
How's it going, buddy? We're fucking running a little behind. We
Doing
didn't get
all right
this weekend because we were fucking busy.
Yeah, busyness, illness. I was sick last week for a couple of days, and then over the weekend, it started to come back, and I didn't want to risk fucking up my voice or whatever the fuck. And now here we are. It is Thursday, so I guess this will be the episode for this week, and next week we'll figure it out. But here we are.
Last week's episode and the one that we would record this weekend.
I would like to point out a scenery change. There was a malfunction with the Fargo poster.
Oh no! What happened?
It fell. It's still here, but the thing ripped off the back because it's a cheap Walmart fucking frame. But I replaced it with asparagus. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can. Hold on. Wait, no, that's you. How do I go to me? How do I go to me? Where am I? I don't have one.
You're an idiot. Yeah,
I don't have one.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Oh,
This right
wait.
there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a goose, right? But it's also asparagus. So there's the asparagus not spines, gills, not gills.
I believe they're called stalks.
No, not stalks. It has a little fucking leaf thingamabobbers on the side of the asparagus. Asparagi, is that the plural for asparagus? I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's asparagus. It's a goose made out of asparagus. Diamond Dallas Page used to be over here, but he fell down 5 seconds ago, so that's gone.
Well, everyone, that's the end of the show. Riveting content. For your PSA, thanks to Gary Holt.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're gonna find out if this video gets taken down for inciting violence. But we'll find out.
I wasn't inciting violence. I was practically begging for it.
Please donate 25 cents and the
Jerry Lewis fucking retardathon?
Shootathon?
Yes.
How much does a bullet cost nowadays?
Don't make me go into the fucking Chris Rock bit.
You can't say that on this show.
Man, I'd shoot your ass if I could afford it.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've been to the store to get ammo. I stocked up with everything that I would possibly need for the foreseeable future because I don't really go to the range that often.
Yeah.
I haven't in probably over a year. So that's the last time I went to get ammo. And that's when ammo was still expensive. So I couldn't even tell you what 9mm or even 22 costs.
It's fucking expensive.
Is it expensive is it as expensive as it was during the apocalypse?
probably not as bad as it was. Honestly, I'll say that I haven't been to the range in a little bit either, which it's a perishable skill. I should really get on that. But
Yeah, but I
did
mean,
shoot some at my buddy's place when I was doing the photos and stuff back in January.
you shot your buddy and his
No.
family?
We shot my Mando themed AR and
Oh yeah, those are good pictures.
my 45 long Colt, which that's a Bozarth gun there. Yeah, shot that box of what was it? It was 50 rounds of 45 long Colt, and it was I want to say it was $30 something.
It's about the same as the last time I bought it. That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, had a lot of fun doing that. I'm hoping to get those pictures back soon. He told me like a month ago that I'd have them in a week, and he's been busy, so I haven't wanted to fucking hit him up about it.
Speaking of things that you bought, I saw a little post you made about some tickets you bought for an upcoming tour.
Satan, one of my.
Oh no, not that one. Small venue.
Oh yeah, fucking Bruce Dickinson, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going. I don't know how much the tickets cost. If it's more than free, then I'm not going to be able to go. But it'll be a good show.
For the pair of tickets, because I got myself and my buddy Jordan tickets. We got floor tickets, and it was $139 for the pair after fees.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, for Dickinson.
To see Bruce Dickinson that close.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
And it's at the Uptown. I mean, it's several hundred people at most. It's not a big place.
The venue,
whereas they usually play the fucking Excel here, which is 10,000 plus.
The venue that he's doing here is the same one that he did on his book tour. It's the Fillmore in Philly. I think it holds like maybe 2,500, 3,000. I saw that a bunch of years ago. There was Slayer, Carcass, and I think was it Testament on that tour. I saw that there. Mr. Bungle when they came through, Jimmy Carr, Tenacious D, Blues Traveler. That's the most recent one that I saw at that place. It's a decent sized place.
I like pretty much everybody you just mentioned, but I'd like to see Jimmy Carr. He's funny as fuck.
The first time I saw him, it was before he started touring the U.S. Like this is only maybe 6 years ago or so. Like maybe he'd pop in once in a while, but he posted that he was going to be at a tiny club, the Village Underground in New York City. And whenever a comic gets a spot there, it's like 10, 15 minutes. And this is before he ever really did anything over here in terms of like headlining shows. So I made sure to go up there. And my plan was, as soon as the waitress took my 2-item minimum, I say, bring my bill over. I want to pay it immediately, because I knew as soon as he was done that he'd leave to go somewhere else to get another spot or something. So as soon as he was done, I ran over to the only exit that the people would leave out of, so I can get a picture and autograph. But
yeah,
I've seen him a couple times since then.
I tried to do the same thing with Dice.
Oh, he's risky. He's tricky.
Yeah, at Mall of America, and this is before he was going around asking everybody, hey, "You want the picture?" Like he wasn't doing that yet. He was still very
the famous face.
He was still very very fan averse. Didn't really meet fans or anything like that. Yeah. And so he runs off the stage immediately out the door at Mall of America Comedy Club, the House of Comedy. And
is Eleanor with him?
Yeah, I run around to try to get him, and she's playing defense. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And he runs down to this little side staircase and goes down to get out of there.
See,
and
he used to sell meet and greet tickets, and I'd pay to get it because I know how difficult he is normally. Yeah. But a friend of mine, Jeremiah, who has like pictures with everybody, like newspaper articles were written about this guy with like pictures of him with Clint Eastwood and George Lucas and all this shit. He got a picture with Dice recently. I think Eleanor was trying to run defense, but he managed to slip through that distance, and he got the picture with Dice.
He got the picture.
He got the picture with the famous face.
Yeah, because I've got Dice on vinyl, and
Yeah.
I've got
I have
Adventures
Dice
of,
on cassette.
yeah, fuck yeah. And I've got Adventures of Ford Fairlane on Laserdisc. I got it specifically to try to get him to sign it. And yeah, that didn't quite work out. But
I think it'll happen. He seems to be becoming more fan friendly, which is great.
yeah.
I just wish Louis C.K. would do the same thing because he's impossible. He will not stop. He won't sign. He won't take pictures with anybody anymore.
So
So
actually, I'm glad you brought that up. There is a Twitter account called Not Louis CK,
I don't know.
Louis KC, and he's got like 180,000 followers or something or another. I can't fucking tell if it's him.
The problem, really, the only problem I have with X is anybody can get verified. I mean, it's the same thing with Facebook. Like you pay to get verified. It used to be any verified account would be that celebrity.
Yeah.
So we don't know if Louis made that. I'm gonna say no. He used to be on.
Leaning towards no too.
He used to be on Twitter a lot, mainly drunk on airplanes, and he'd be hilarious. But he does have an Instagram account that posts every once in a while, like advertising either his shit or like friends of his, similar to what Shane Gillis does now.
I got you. But yeah, back to what you asked. I'm going to go see Bruce Dickinson for September 28th or something like that. It's like a week and a half after I get back from the Netherlands.
Oh yeah.
September's going to be a fucking busy month, dude. I'm doing so like my itinerary, if everything works out the way that I want it to.
Catching an airplane to the World Trade Center.
It'll be during. Actually, I will. If everything works out the way that I want it to, the day that I leave Atlanta to go to Amsterdam is 9/11.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! You're gonna have to
Prague Power.
You're gonna have to resume your that story in a second. Yeah, Prague Power is really good with the 9/11s.
Yeah, every year.
I think 2016. I forget which year it was. I flew back to the airport in Atlantic City, and I had to drive immediately to Princeton because I went to so the flight was on 9/11. So I flew to Jersey to drive to Princeton immediately after I landed to meet Jesse Ventura on 9/11. So that I had the best 9/11 possible.
Oh, hold that thought. I hate doing this, but hold that thought.
Holding that thought because I was ordered to hold that thought because Brent ran out of the frame because he's
all my action figures and shit like that.
Brent is back.
This one.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
yes.
Jesse Ventura, man of action. Ventura for Minnesota Inc. Officially licensed merchandise. Jesse Ventura for governor.
Dude,
before he was fucking elected.
You got to get him to sign that with a red.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Pen.
It's not before he was elected. Governor of Minnesota on November 3rd, 1998. Jesse Ventura was elected governor of Minnesota.
So it's like a commemorative thing.
I guess. U.S. Navy SEAL.
But yeah, show the front of that again.
Volunteer football coach.
So I would get him to sign that.
This is the U.S. Navy SEAL, even though he was never a SEAL, he was a CB.
If you ever get to meet him, get him to sign it on that plastic window with a red paint pen. That would look sick.
Yeah, I have met him before.
Okay.
I have, what is it? Republicans and Democrats, I think is what I have signed. I've got like 5 or 6 of his books, and I think that's the book that he was doing a signing for when I met him.
Gotcha.
I'll put that back later on. I'll have to go do it right now. But yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I went to a record show this weekend and got a few things while I was there, which we'll get to in a minute. But one of the things, or two of the things that I passed up just because I don't know, it was a personalized autograph, and so I didn't jump all over it. But there was a the picture disc record that Jesse put out.
Yeah, I'm actually working on pulling that up. It's great that you brought that back to that picture, to that specific thing.
There was a signed copy of that, but it was like to Jordan or Justin or whoever the fuck it was. Yeah, That right there. It
So
was but it wasn't that side, it was the other side that was signed.
Oh, yeah, I got this is mine from my collection that I got him to sign when I met him the last time.
Yeah, but it was $35. And I'm just like, I've already got a Jesse autograph. If I didn't have a Jesse autograph, I would have done it.
Okay.
But that was 35, and the same guy had the Wrestling Album 1, but it wasn't signed by anybody. He wanted 25 for it. I almost bought it.
I have that at my dad's house.
I was like, do I really want to spend $60 on a couple of records I probably won't listen to more than once? Not really.
I need to get more gin.
Oh,
Enjoyable.
I hate gin. Ooh, and that's my wife's name.
Easy, Chris Benoit.
I make that joke all the time. She's the only gin I want in my mouth. Hey-o!
So whenever you mention your wife's name, Jen, I think of the old Bat Dad videos because Jen. So when's the last time you looked up Bat Dad?
It's been a while. Fucking Bat Dad was great.
So he still runs the Bat Dad account, but apparently him and Jen got divorced a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh. Jen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now he's got to go find a boy to fuck.
Don't we all?
But so anyway,
Yeah.
going to see Bruce Dickinson in September, but before
Back
that,
on track.
So, Labor Day is what's in September. So Labor Day's Monday. We have that day off of work. Tuesday, I'm flying to Atlanta. Wednesday, I'm working Nathan's night, which is the night that Green Carnation plays. Thursday, I'm working for Milton that night. That was the night that Iron Savior canceled.
The South Mexican.
Friday, Saturday, I'm actually going to be on Glenn's crew. I won't be a full-time crew person like he has every year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kind of be his runner, problem solver. He likes throwing me into chaos, I guess. And that's kind of what happened last year. Like, I didn't help him last year because I was helping Lance, but I don't think Lance is going to bend this year. I think Lance is kind of done. He may go as a fan, but he said he just doesn't have that drive in him.
I still have one of his old banners. He didn't want to either. I guess maybe he flew that year and he didn't want to bring the banner back. I was like, I'll buy it from you.
What is it? Is it a Giant Lance King banner? Is it a Nightmare Records banner? What is it?
Don't remember.
Okay.
It's been rolled up in a gigantic tube since I bought it from him and I came back. He signed it for me.
So since I'm not helping him this year, Glenn was like, oh yeah, dude, I could probably use you. So I'm gonna just kind of do whatever's needed with him. Basically same thing I did for Milton last year. I screamed at a fucking UPS driver a Pepsi driver for coming up and
racist,
trying to fix a fucking pop machine that was fucked up or something or another, and he was blocking where the tour bus had to go. He was blocking UPS and everything else. And I went in there, I was like, dude, you got to move. And he goes, where do you want me to go? I said, I don't fucking care. Move. And
that's how you got to treat these people.
Well, all these people were trying to get him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. I go in there with a fucking Hawaiian and a kilt on and a goddamn prison rape voice. And I'm just like, fucking move. Okay, I'll go.
Now, is it the voice of the person that does the raping or gets raped in prison?
No. The raper, not the rapee.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, 100%.
You have a Southern accent, so I think that's like the rapee.
Yeah, Southern accent, as in you got a pretty mouth, boy.
You make a very
boy.
You know what? It usually takes a lot to change my mind about a topic, but I think you persuaded me. Made a very good point, and I concede.
Squeal like a pig will. Wee, wee.
You're right. Very good point.
Yes. But then doing that, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have my mom come pick me up on that Sunday. Go back down to her place, which is like an hour and a half from Atlanta. Do my laundry and stuff. See her. See my nephew. See my grandma. And then go back to the airport in Atlanta Monday morning, most likely. I got to look at flights and see exactly how it's going to line up.
How old's your grandma?
She will be 85 in August.
Nice.
I'm sorry. No. 85 in, is it August? It's July or August. I always forget.
Nice.
No, it is. It's late August because my father's August 17th. Yeah, so she's 85. She was born in 40. But go see them.
My God, my dad was born in 46. Oh no.
And then go to Amsterdam, hopefully from Atlanta. I haven't looked to see that there's direct flights, but if there's direct flights from here to Amsterdam, I've got to imagine that Atlanta, one of the biggest airports in the world, has a direct flight.
I wonder what's cheaper, flying out of Atlanta or Newark.
I'm not coming to visit you, and I'm certainly not fucking going to
Oh
Newark.
no! I'm just wondering, like, what's cheaper? Because it's weird. Like when I want to fly somewhere, sometimes it's cheaper for me to drive down to Baltimore than to fly out of Philly.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Just in terms of the international hub, probably
Gotcha.
Atlanta. They like things cheaper there.
Yeah, something like that. Was that a loose slavery joke?
You know.
This isn't the Bashford cast anymore, Will.
That's why I didn't explain my thoughts. I'm like, yeah, sure. That's the tamer. That's the tamer of the ideas that could have been.
So, anyway, gonna fly to Amsterdam and then hang out with a couple of my buddies who live in Amsterdam for a couple, probably 2.5 days, and then go to Tilburg on that Thursday for the dress rehearsal for Arian. And then I don't recall what else I've got tickets for. It's either Friday or Saturday. I think it's Saturday.
So when you go to Amsterdam, you kind of have to go to the Anne Frank house.
No. I was told that if you do, it's an all-day event that you will fucking wait in line forever to get into it.
Do you get up to the attic and then you have to stay up there for hours trying to be quiet? Like, why does it take hours?
I'm a loud American. They'll find me.
No. It's the faggot in the kilt. That might get flagged. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. No, we're not monetized. Fuck them.
True.
But then I'm going to try to, it's not going to try unless something catastrophic comes up where it's not going to work out. I'm parlaying it into a work trip because 2 of our bigger vendors are headquartered in the Netherlands. And so I'm trying to get work to pay for at least part of the trip.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, like if I paid for half of my flight or something,
and then you're actually thinking like Anne Frank, Jewish.
Will can say that he is a Jew.
Hava Nagila, Hava
Nagila,
Nagila ve nishmacha. Havana ranena, Havana ranena, Havana ranena ve nishmacha.
Did you go to fucking yeshiva?
No. I'm just cultured.
Yeah, cultured. You're cultured like cottage fucking cheese.
Uru, ura, uru, ahim, urakim, bereshameya, urakim, bereshameya.
This will get us in Israel's good graces.
Bereshameya.
And then at some point, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, fucking fly back. So I'm gonna be gone for like fucking 2.5 weeks.
Sick. Now, what will Jen be doing this entire time?
Sitting here doing whatever she can not to speak to a single person other than maybe myself or her parents, because she's an extreme introvert who wants to deal with literally no one.
That's the American dream.
Yeah, she will sit here and play with her dogs, or our dogs rather, and doom scroll on Instagram or fucking play Pokemon or whatever on her fucking Nintendo Switch until her goddamn eyes bleed.
That actually sounds like a perfect 2 weeks. That's perfect.
I mean, she'll go to work and have to deal with fucking morons there, but outside of that, she will deal with no morons other than my dogs.
That's pretty much how I try to live my life. Motar breath.
I can't take it any other way.
Hey.
This is going to
Yeah, this is to quickly change subjects.
Wait,
This is
no,
Oh, yeah.
not yet.
not yet, not yet.
Brent likes records, he buys them all the time. He posts all the good ones. His Instagram you should find at Hell Brent for Leather.
Yeah, cracks me the fuck up. I forgot about that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I
I didn't realize we'd be able to dance on the sides. Oh, that couldn't have been better.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I went to a record show this weekend and picked up a few things. I actually traded for most of what I got. I bought a few things, but I didn't spend very much because I'm going to go see Satan in Chicago in what's today's date? The 6th.
Awesome.
19 days, something like that.
Who else is on that Satan show?
Just them so far.
It's all that
There's
matters.
some local bands or something, but I don't know of anyone else on the tour. I haven't talked to Russ or Sean in a couple of weeks. I should probably drop a line and make sure everything's still good because they haven't announced anything. But the tickets are for sale on Reggie's website. And he sent me the flyer that has all the dates and stuff on it.
You're going to Reggie's?
Yeah, I've never been.
That I've been there a couple of times. I flew out there to see November's Doom and Woods of Ypres, who will get mentioned again later on in the show. I flew out there for another November's Doom show. Goddamn Zombie played there with November's Doom, who will be mentioned later on in the show. But yeah, Reggie's is a cool venue. If you're not a fan of like standing around, there's not to completely speak for them, but there's a chance I will be running their merch that night. Oh, even okay. So the merch, it might be difficult for you to see the stage depending on where the merch is now, but she'll be all right.
And I might not. I mean, they're doing this tour very DIY. They're not taking Ian, who is their kind of on again, off again, longtime manager and friend. He's like one of their best friends. He did the last US tour with them. I think he acted as sort of as their TM, but he ran merch and stuff for them. But they're bringing literally no one but the 5 of themselves on this one. So I told him, I said, hey, if you guys need somebody to run merch for you while you're on stage, you don't have to shut it down or something. I'm happy to do it. So they may utilize me for that. But so at the show,
yeah,
I traded some duplicates. So actually, I was not out of pocket for this at all. I traded 2 Angel Witch records that I had duplicates of because I traded up and gotten the box sets of them. So I traded the just standard editions as well as the first Ghost album, which I had a duplicate of, and something else the first Paladin album because I have that too. I had 2 of them. But walked away with a first press from Megaforce, Metallica, Kill 'Em All.
Now, would that be
Old
the
Bridge
same?
Right there, Old Bridge, New Jersey.
Oh, dude, Old Bridge is where I got my the guitar that I've been using for 20 something years.
That's where Metallica was born, on Megaforce, buddy.
Yeah. Megaforce. Yeah. I met the guy that signed Metallica to Megaforce at the Dark Angel show.
Johnny Z.
Yeah,
he's dead now. Unfortunately, he and his wife.
No, it wasn't Johnny Z. The guy that recruited them to be on the. It's this weird thing, but
okay. You're not talking about Slagle, who put him on.
No.
Right? Okay.
I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah, because they were signed to do Metal Massacre. And it's funny because the very first pressing of Metal Massacre is the only version that has let's see, it's Lars, it's James, I think this even predates McGovney. Now hold on. Metal Massacre. But it had Lloyd, or what was his name?
The African American gentleman.
Yeah.
I forget.
I'll tell you. Hold on. All right, so Metal Massacre, 1982. Yeah, so the first version had Metallica and it was spelled wrong. Mettalica.
So I have to make an amendment. The guy that I met at the Dark Angels show was Michael Alago, who signed them to Elektra. So not Megaforce, it was Elektra that he signed them to.
Oh, okay.
And-
All right, so let's see. History. I'm trying to find.
What you looking for? Oh, Lloyd's name?
Yeah, I was trying to find who played on that. All right, so yeah, it was
Lloyd Grant.
Lloyd Grant is the name.
Yeah.
All right, so Hetfield sang and played both bass and rhythm guitar, while Lars played drums and Lloyd Grant was credited with the guitar solo in the Hit the Lights version that's only on the first pressing of Metal Massacre. The second version of, or the second pressing of Metal Massacre that came out had the second version of that recording, which was re-recorded with Mustaine and McGovney.
Gotcha. I got to meet
So-
McGovney about like 10 years ago at a convention in North Carolina. It's pretty sick.
Nice.
Same convention where I met Kirk Hammett.
Oh, awesome. At the same year?
Same year, same convention.
Nice. That'd have been cool if they would have done like cool photos together or something or another. Well, no,
Yeah,
I guess no, because they weren't in the band at the same time. Or was there a small overlap?
No.
Yeah, because Cliff joined what's today's date? I think Cliff joined March 4th, 1983, I believe is when he joined. Or maybe not when he joined, but that was his first date with the band. It was either March 3rd or March 4th or 5th, because my buddy posted that that poster from he was at the show that night, Cliff's first show at the Stone in San Fran. So yeah, maybe not. Maybe they weren't in the band at the same time, because Cliff joined, McGovney was gone, and Kurt had not. No, Kurt did join the band already. Yeah, so I think McGovney and Kurt were in the band very, very, very briefly together, because Mustaine would have been gone by then.
Perhaps.
So yeah, got that Kill 'Em All, which I'm very proud to have. I still need a pressing of Ride the Lightning. I would prefer a Megaforce pressing. I would settle for an Electra pressing, an early one. I don't want to repress. I can go to Walmart right now and get a fucking repress. But
how much does Ride the Lightning go for?
Ride the Lightning, a good shape Megaforce, anywhere between 150 to $300.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, there was a guy at the record store the other day trying to sell a Electra early repress for like 200, and Tim's like, I bought a fucking white label promo on Megaforce for less than that. Or no, I'm sorry, a white label promo on Electra for less than that. So his price was just high. I'll get one eventually. I lucked out at fucking Hell's Heroes last year and bought that Injustice for All South Korean pressing for like $30, and it was in good shape. And
all the lyrics sound really weird. Color our Brackens. Brackens. Dear mother, dear father.
Dun 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 hiya dun 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 hiya dun 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 hiya. But so I overpaid on my puppets a little bit. It's a OG club copy from when did Puppets come out? 85. No, Puppets was 86. It's an OG club copy from 86. I paid like $100 and a quarter for it, but it was like during the height of fucking Stranger Things when they played Master of Puppets on there. And so everybody fucking wanted a copy of that record. Yeah. So, oh well, but I have it.
But then the other that I got, I traded my most grail vinyl of grail vinyls.
Yeah.
One vinyl that I thought I would never get rid of for anything in this world. Well, no, my most grail vinyl of grail vinyls is World's Dreaming Neon Black up on the wall. But in terms of something that's not, a one of one or whatever, I traded my first press white label, white jacket copy of Diamond Head's Lightning to the Nations back when it was just called the White Album. That record's worth $800, $1,000, whatever. I traded it. I got a damn good deal on it on eBay 2 years ago. I paid $2.25 for it. I don't know how the fuck I scored it. I had no business paying that little for it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just got one of my favorite records of all time, the rarest variant of it that you can get. I will never fucking get it. I'm good. I don't need anything else. Until my buddy made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
Because I have before this trade happened, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 different pressings of that album. I had the original OG white label, white jacket. I had the 1980 Wolf Records, the classic one that's got kind of the globe that's on fire, or the map of the world that's on fire or whatever. That's the one that Wolf Records stole the fucking masters after they released it, and Lars showed up in Germany in like 89 or 90 with a couple of goons and took it back by force. Well, actually not by force, by threat of force. And gave it back to Brian. And then I had like an 03 or 04, I think it's Earache. I can't recall the pressing, but it's pretty fucking rare too. Apparently it's Italian, and it was so when Diamond Head put the original album out, a lot of the jackets were unsigned, but a lot of them were signed. They came from the band signed, or they'd get signed at shows because the band self-financed and self-pressed these and were selling them at their merch table. So they'd sign them for people right there. You could buy them through the mail and they'd get signed before they ever made it to you, et cetera, et cetera. So the one that I had that wasn't signed is actually fairly rare that it was not signed. But finding a signed one is stupid fucking expensive. There's one on Discogs right now for $3,100. It's got all 4 of them on it. Whoa. And that's my grail of grails. If I could have that record, I'd probably not feel the need to ever buy another record again. But so the 2004 pressing that I've got from Italy, they basically cloned the original press. It's got labels on the vinyl itself, but the original press, they took one that was signed by all 4, or an amalgamation of one that were signed by a collective of the 4 of them, and basically made lithographed signatures on the jacket.
Right.
And I have that one, which I met Brian years ago and had him sign that one on top of his lithograph.
He signed it over it.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't trace it, but he signed right there by it. And I've got my signed set list in there with it and such. And then I've got the re-release that they did at the end of 2023. That's a remaster, remaster remix that actually sounds really good. It's got a shit ton of bonus tracks and stuff. It's 3 vinyl. Okay. But my buddy goes, hey, I'm a first press guy. You're a signature guy. How about you trade me your first press? And I've got 2 second presses that are identical to the first press, except for there's labels on them. You can't really see it all that well, but it's Happy Face Records. It was the name of the record company that they started in order to put this out. But what makes these so special is this one is signed by Brian Tatler and Duncan Scott.
Awesome.
And this one is signed by Sean Harris. So 3 of the 4 originals. I'd love to find a Colin Kimberly, but the only one on Discogs that has his signature on it is about $1,400. If I'm going to spend that much, I'm going for broke, and I'm going to get the fucking one that's got all 4 on it, because those individually are worth anywhere between $500 to $1,000.
I think you traded very well. You
I do
got
too.
an enormous upgrade. I know you're a first pressing kind of guy, but having 3 signatures on a second pressing,
Yeah,
that's
and
just as impressive.
I'm a first press guy, but I'm also an autograph guy. And if I
Yeah.
have to choose, 9 times out of 10, I'm going autographed. I mean, yeah, could I have hunted down a fucking Watchtower record and sent it out to you and so on and so forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would cost me $100, all that. No, I grabbed the fucking copy on Amazon because we were fucking kind of up against it time wise for me thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I just said, fuck it, here's this. I cherish the fuck out of that record. So, I'm not upset. And it's signed by all of them now.
Yeah, and seeing Watchtower live, like I think they were the most impressive band that weekend. I mean, I love Solitude Aeternus. I knew what to expect from them. I mean, I knew what to expect from Watchtower, but just seeing Ron Jarzombek playing live in front of me, and like he had this malfunction where he like stopped playing for a second,
And you
and
never noticed that he didn't mean to do it?
he picked up perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And when we met him after the set, we were like, "Oh, that was great." He's like, "Oh no, I messed up." I'm like, "Dude, the fact that you're able to recover playing this crazy shit."
I mean, how many times do you see a band fuck up on stage and somebody fucks something up and somebody's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. All right. Back to the chorus and dun, 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 dun. I use Primus as an example because
That's just
happened.
those are
But
regular songs. I mean,
yeah,
Primus songs are regular songs
they're
like
difficult to
compared
play,
with
but they're not Watchtower.
Watchtower. No.
But yeah, that blew my mind. I don't know that they were my favorite set of the weekend, but they were
Right.
certainly the most impressive by far.
I'm when it comes to music, the weirder the better for me. So that's why
Sleepy Time fucking Gorilla Museum.
Yeah. And it took forever for you to fucking start appreciating them, and I'm glad you finally did.
100%. But so yeah, to your point, I think I traded up. I at least traded even if I didn't trade up, and I'm starting to come around to the fact that I traded up. So now I've just got to get on the hunt for another white label white jacket, which will happen one of these days. I've got the search saved on eBay. I've had the search saved for a while because I've been looking for a good deal on a signed one. And anytime I see a signed one go on eBay, it goes for $500, $600, $700, $800. So we will we'll see. I'd love to find a Colin Kimberly. But I mean, he's not dead. There's a chance, but he doesn't have any social media that I can find, or else I'd try to track him down and ask him if I could send him one.
I'll see what I can do.
I've looked and I can't find anything.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
I'll see.
So Diamond had put out like a coffee table book like 2 months ago or something or another.
Like one of Kramer's coffee table books.
I don't know the reference because I wasn't a big Seinfeld guy. I would like to actually go back and watch Seinfeld now because I think I would appreciate it. But back when it was on, I wouldn't have given a shit.
You'll enjoy it.
But it was a bunch of old pictures and so on and so forth from Diamond Head days and such. And it came signed by Brian and Duncan. Like he didn't, maybe Sean really does hate him that much or he hates Sean that much. I'm not sure. But I didn't ever know that there was any beef with Colin. So I don't know why Colin didn't sign it. I don't know if Colin's not in good health or if he's just dropped off the face of the planet or what. But you could buy it and get it signed by both of them. I would have bought it, but it was like $200. And I already have Brian's autograph 3 times, now 4. So it's just like, no, 5 times. So I didn't really need it.
Right.
But yeah, and then I got, what else did I get? Lucifer's Friend. What was the album that I got? It was their second album that's name escapes me. It wasn't Mean Machine and it wasn't the self-titled. It was the one in between. And actually, I think there's 2 in between. It was one of those 2, and I can't remember what it is. I didn't pay much money for it. The second Leather Wolf album, Street Ready, and then Black Sabbath, Eternal Idol.
Yes.
So right now, I have all the Sabbath albums with the exception of Technical Ecstasy, Born Again, and everything after Dio left. No, I'm sorry. Everything after Tony Martin left on Cross Purposes.
Do you have Cross Purposes Live?
No, I don't have Cross Purposes Live, and I don't have any of the reunion stuff, be it Ozzy or Dio.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Because The Devil You Know is fucking expensive for a non-bootleg.
Oh, okay.
But I guess that's not technically Sabbath, it's Heaven and Hell. But
No. It's
well,
Sabbath.
yeah.
It's Sabbath.
But regardless, I want to say it goes for like $300.
That much?
Yeah. 2 or
It's like
3. It's
the
not. There's bootlegs of it out there. I can get a bootleg of it today if I want. Well, I couldn't have it in my hands today, but I could order it today. I know a guy that sells them.
300's around where the Dissection Rain Chaos vinyl goes for, which blows my mind because when that came out, everybody fucking hated it, but it's my favorite Dissection album.
I love that album too. And Angela McArdle, the former head of the Libertarian Party, the former chair of the Libertarian Party, says that's her favorite fucking Dissection album too.
What?
Yeah, she's a massive fucking thrash and death metal and black metal fan. She just loves extreme metal.
I guess that would make sense in the Libertarian Party.
All right, let's see. Want list. Heaven. Oh, wow. I actually don't have it on my want list. I was going to choose Heaven and Hell Devil. Because it's not cheap. So yeah, all right. So there's one for sale. This pressing of it is $180 on Discogs.
Wow.
How many copies of it on vinyl did they put out? They put out one of those hasn't sold in a little while. 300 on that pressing. Yeah, none for sale there. 2016 US, $200, and then the unofficial that came out last year.
If you look up at your screen, you'll see a picture of my CD cover signed by the band. Those were at the merchandise table for $40.
I did the same thing, except for instead of getting that, I got the Rules of Hell box set.
Oh, cool.
You know what I'm talking about? The 4 CD set that's all 4 of the Dio albums.
Yep.
All 4 of the Dio Sabbath albums, not Heaven and Hell.
Right.
Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, Dehumanizer, and it's not Live Evil, is it?
I don't know the contents.
It is Live Evil. Live Evil's the Dio live album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Live Evil, Dehumanizer, Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, and a black faux leather fucking slipcase thing. $125 at the merch stand, signed by all 4.
I think Mike went to a signing at Vintage Vinyl for that record. He got the box set signed by the band in person.
Nice.
I'm telling you, we got to have Dodora on here as a guest.
Yep.
To talk about, like, he's seen some wild shit. Like he saw Black Sabbath on the Dehumanizer tour at like the place that Testament usually plays, like a tiny fucking shoebox.
That might be my favorite Dio Sabbath album.
Mine too.
I love Dehumanizer so much.
I don't know if it's my favorite content wise, or if it's because it was my first Dio Sabbath album.
It was my first as well.
That might be why. Like, it starts off with what? Computer God? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a hell of a way.
Because TV Crimes is like number 5 or number 6. It's
yeah.
Yeah. Computer God is such a great fucking song. Now, I've always had an appreciation for the Dio Sabbath.
Yeah.
Since the first time I ever heard it. But I've never sat down. There are 2. Well, no, I guess there's only one Ozzy album I've never sat down to listen to. I've never listened to Technical Ecstasy because I hear that it's just okay. Because Never Say Die has Never Say Die on it, which is one of my favorite Sabbath songs, but the rest of the album is just meh. It's not bad. It's not great.
That's kind of how I am with Blizzard of Oz. Like there's one or two songs on it that are really good,
All
and
right,
then
we're gonna
it's
get
like,
back to that. We're gonna derail the conversation and get back to that. Give me a second to make my point, and then
and
I want to go back to that because
I,
I
s-
might.
I still have a lot of bullet points I wrote
Yep,
down.
I might get,
This is gonna be a long
this
one.
might be a long one, and I might get crucified for my thoughts on this. So, I've never listened to Born Again,
Okay,
but I love Ian Gillan. I love Deep Purple, and I'm told it's basically Tony Iommi trying to write a Deep Purple album. So I want to give it a shot. I had never really listened to any of the Tony Martin albums, with the exception of Tear, which I
dude,
like.
Tony Martin. So I formed a very controversial opinion at a very young age. So
That the priest
synop
left you and it wasn't your fault.
yeah, the rabbi, uh, like
I was
so
talking about fucking not cutting.
both. The cutting is the moil. The moil does the Jewish circumcision.
Oh, the rabbi does the sucking. That's it.
I think they both do. They trade, or they might be like one testicle and another. So it's like one over here and the one over here. But
Bliss is bliss.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, Tony
so
Martin, young
yeah,
age.
so I started off like every other young metalhead saying, "Oh, Ozzy's awesome. Ozzy's awesome. Ozzy's awesome. Ozzy's awesome."
I was indoctrinated in early Sabbath with Ozzy, so I
Yeah,
agree.
everybody was, and I respect Ozzy. I like Ozzy. Ozzy's fine.
One of the greatest frontmen to ever live.
Absolutely. Then I was introduced to Dio Sabbath, and yeah, there was definitely a shift in how the music was written. Um, but the entire shift of the band was so much better than what was going on with Ozzy, not just with the incredible music behind the vocals, but what Dio brought into it. I'm like, holy shit, this is this is the version of Black
Ozzy
Sabbath
Sabbath
that I
is
want.
heavier. Dio Sabbath is smarter.
Definitely
It's
smarter.
more intricate. I don't mean smarter in terms of IQ. I mean smarter in terms of there's more layers to it.
Yeah, smarter.
It's a layer cake, whereas Ozzy is a fucking just heavy ass chocolate cake.
Now, I'm about to feel really, really old because a couple of the nouns I'm about to say don't exist anymore. When I was like 14 years old,
Wow, we go from the Bastard Cast talking about the Browns to here talking about the nouns.
yeah, brown to nouns, bastard to Chinese on your radio dial. So I was 14 years old walking through Kmart.
They just
Going,
finally closed the Kmart in my hometown within the last 4 or 5 years. It didn't survive COVID.
all of like mine have been gone. All the local Sears is gone. Anyway, so I was pour one out for our homies in Sears and Kmart, same company. But so 14, walking through Kmart, going to check out the cassette tape section, and there was Tear. There was Cross Purposes on cassette. I got both Tear and Cross Purposes on cassette just because it said Black Sabbath, and those are the only cassettes other than the self-titled debut and Paranoid. I'm like, I don't know what the hell these are, but they say Black Sabbath. Got them, brought them home. I'm like, holy shit! Like, this isn't Dio. It's not Ozzy, obviously. Tony Martin. I'm like, he sounds so much like Dio. He's so much better than Ozzy. So since I was 14 years old, my rankings were Dio, Tony Martin, and coming in third is Ozzy. I can't rank Ian because like it's not fair to rank Ian among them because Ian was only around for a certain amount of time.
Right.
But
My
yeah,
favorite Ozzy era Sabbath song is Children of the Grave.
Behind the Wall of Sleep.
My favorite, that's a great fucking song too. My favorite Dio era is Sign of the Southern Cross.
Country Girl.
And my favorite Tony Martin era is Where the Rooms Still Speak.
Crown of Thorns.
I was making a joke. That was Candlemass, buddy.
I honestly wasn't even so when you when you started to say Tony Martin, I went from like listening to you to like listening to Up Here is like what that's the Tony Martin. So I didn't even hear your no, I just heard
Where the
me.
Rooms Still Speak.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I had heard Tear, and
Yeah.
I made an effort when the box set came out on vinyl, and I was like, I'm gonna try to track that down one of these days and get it. Well, when I was back home in Georgia, Low Yo-Yo Stuff had it, so I've gotten it, and I've listened to everything, and I listened to
Headless Cross.
Headless Cross. I listened to no, obviously I've listened to everything on the box set, but then I listened to Eternal Idol last night.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking great. Like I still think Tear's my favorite, but Eternal Idol might be my second. It's really fucking solid.
Awesome.
So I have a very strong appreciation for Tony Martin Sabbath now. But anyway, so took that detour. Back to Ozzy. All right. Randy, one of the greatest fucking guitar players to ever live. No one will ever take that away from him.
Sure.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Jakey
Yeah.
Lee, fucking phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
Zach Wilde, fucking phenomenal guitar player. Gus G, phenomenal guitar player. Everybody, great fucking guitar players.
Can I make a guess?
What?
Brad Gillis.
What? No.
Oh.
No. The point that I'm trying to make. People celebrate Blizzard of Oz, fucking what else is there? Fucking Ultimate Sin.
Diary of a
Madman, Bark at the Moon, No More Tears.
Down to Earth.
All of the classic. Calm down, Perry Mason, with your osmosis bullshit.
Perry
It's the dumbest fucking song ever, and it rules.
No. Crazy. Babies.
Oh God. Babies, I don't understand. Yeah.
I can't
All right.
listen to it.
All right. I will submit to you. How many classic Ozzy albums are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or is there 6? And I'm forgetting one. Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon, Blizzard of Oz, No More Tears.
Osmosis.
No. Classic Ozzy albums. So like
Okay.
81 or whatever to, let's say, No More Tears is probably the last classic Ozzy album.
Oh, and even then,
Missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. Hold on.
I just have to say, No More Tears is the only good song on that fucking album, and it's
All
such
right.
a disappointment.
Bark at the Moon, Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, No More Tears, No Rest for the Wicked. That was the one.
That's it.
And Ultimate Sin. Out of those 6 albums, a strong 2 albums worth of material.
If even.
Now,
I'm gonna say a double out. Just say a double album. Just
I could make
one.
another album to album and a half of songs that are passable. Like, hey, yeah, you know what? This is decent, but it's not great. But you want to take like all-time greatest fucking Ozzy songs and put those on something, you could make a long format double album.
Over the Mountain,
phenomenal.
Revelation, Mother Earth, Diary of a Madman. You got to put Crazy Train. I'm sick of hearing it, but there's a reason everybody loves it.
All right, so Bark at the Moon. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Blizzard of Oz.
I think we might walk away with an EP. We're not even going to get an album.
Crazy Train. Goodbye to Romance is a great fucking song.
Yeah.
D's a great song because it's just Randy going nuts.
But is it?
All right, you know what?
Look. Would it be a situation to say that D is only considered really, really great because Randy died?
Yeah, probably. All right.
I hate to say
I'm gonna revise what I'm saying a little bit because I'm starting to eat my words here. All of Blizzard of Oz is great. there needs to be an album of B-sides. So we're going to skip Blizzard of Oz. Blizzard of Oz doesn't count. Bark at the Moon, Bark at the Moon.
Yep.
Diary of a Madman, you're going to have Over the Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Flying High Again.
Oh, yeah.
Stato. And
Yeah.
Diary of a Madman.
Yeah.
All right. So there's 5 in addition to Blizzard of Oz. Then No More Tears. You've got Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Yep.
No More Tears.
Mm-hmm.
Hellraiser.
I'll give it to you.
Fucking Motorhead, dude. Come on. Do we go with I Don't Want to Change the World?
I don't want to change the world. I don't want the world to change me.
No,
No,
it's one of the ones that can go on
no.
the okay stuff. All right, so there's 4 from that. So we're up to 9 now.
Yeah.
No Rest for the Wicked.
Not.
Breaking All the Rules.
Yeah.
Bloodbath in Paradise. Demon
but-
Alcohol, because Demon Alcohol is pretty great too.
Yeah, but like putting it on the same, like at this point in the discography, like these are gonna have to be songs that are like between Over the Mountain and Revelation
Okay.
Mother Earth.
All right. Well, then let's go back to No Rest for the Wicked. Breaking All the Rules for sure. I gotta go with Bloodbath in Paradise. I'll take those 2
Okay.
songs. I'll leave everything else off.
So
And
now
then-
you're plotting it out like a Nevermore set list. So like we gotta have 2 from this one, we gotta have 2 from
No,
this
no,
one.
no,
we
no,
gotta
no.
have 2 from this
I just, I'm trying to keep it tight.
one. Okay.
And then Ultimate Sin and Shot in the Dark. That's the only songs on the album that are even memorable to me.
Yeah.
Secret fucking Loser. You can put a gun to my head right now and I couldn't tell you how that fucking song goes.
But I wonder how
So-
many of these songs like were never played live.
All right, so what was that? I want to say that's 13 songs in addition to Blizzard of Oz, which is 9 songs. 22 songs out of Ozzy's Blizzard to No More Tears discography that are worth a shit.
And even then, how many of them does he have an actual writing credit on? Not a lyric, maybe
Now.
a harmony.
Now, this is where it hurts. This is where we get the death threats because I don't think anything
That-
that we just said is necessarily controversial.
At this point, the 3 listeners that we have might cancel us.
I'm better armed than all of you. Fuck off.
I can open my safe.
I'm better armed than you. Fuck off.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm probably better armed than those people too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to do it. We're going to rip off the fucking Band-Aid. Dio has less.
Yeah. That's fair.
Now, Dio's 90s albums are better than Ozzy's 90s albums and
Yep.
2000s albums.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Dio has like 3 or 4 great songs on each album, if that.
But that's still more than Ozzy's.
But he didn't have the number of quote unquote great albums that Ozzy had. You've got
But
Holy Diver, you've got Dream Evil, you've got Last in Line, and what's the one that I'm missing? It's not Magica, it's not Master of the Moon, it's
Killing the
not
Dragon.
No, Killing Dragon was 02. It was the first metal.
Oh, okay.
The first metal concert I ever saw was the Killing the Dragon tour.
Yeah.
No, I know I'm missing one. Hold on. Angry Machines was 90. All right, Dream Evil, Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart was the one I was missing. So anybody can suck a dick that tells me that Lock Up the Wolves is a classic fucking Dio album. I don't care that it came out in 1990. It's not. It's a decent album, don't get me wrong, but it's not classic. Magica, fucking, again, decent album, but not classic. Killing the Dragon has some good songs on it. Again, not classic. So Ozzy has quote unquote 6 classic albums. Dio has 4.
So I've had one point circulating in my head since you brought this idea up.
Okay.
I can never recall myself hearing 2 or 3 seconds of any song Dio has ever provided vocals for and said, "Ew," and immediately went to the next track. Like I can't, I don't have any memory of ever skipping a Dio solo song. I've skipped so many Ozzy solo songs where I'm pretty sure I never heard the complete song. Ever.
Sure. Now, the Dio songs, a lot of the Dio songs are kind of the same, you know?
Yeah, but it's a good same.
Yeah, because it was
Like
Dio
Slayer.
writing them, with the exception of the first album where you had Vivian and all those guys kind of
Yeah.
collaborating together. It was a joint effort. But later on, it was Dio writing everything. He might have someone come in every once in a while to help him with something here or there. But with Ozzy, Ozzy was constantly having people writing with him or writing for him.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't cohesion there. Whereas with
And
Dio, there was.
And Dio always gave the credit to the people that wrote the things.
Yep. But so solo stuff, I'm going to go Ozzy. But I'm also going to say Ozzy's solo career has not been incredibly impressive to me. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But Sabbath is where it's at for him. Dio's career, again, it's good. Sabbath and Rainbow is where it was at. But Dio Sabbath fucking destroys Ozzy Sabbath. Well, maybe not destroys it, but it does come out on top because there's always Sabotage, which is probably my favorite Sabbath album.
Did you ever see Sabbath with Ozzy?
No, I've never seen Ozzy in any version.
So
I saw Dio by himself on the Killing the Dragon tour, and then I saw Dio with Sabbath twice. I saw him on the Metal Masters tour the night that I met Priest. It was them, Heaven and Hell, Motorhead, and Testament. And then I saw, not terribly long after I moved up here, I saw Sabbath. Or no, it was Heaven and Hell. They weren't going by Sabbath. It was Heaven and Hell at the Target Center or the Excel Center, one of the two. I can't remember which. Like a fucking arena with Megadeth and Machine Head opening.
Mm-hmm. So I saw Sabbath with Ozzy 2 or 3 times on various Ozfests. Another time I saw Sabbath, Ozzy had quote unquote bronchitis and Rob Halford stepped in. That was in Camden.
Yeah, there is a vinyl
Bootleg.
out there, a
Mhm.
vinyl bootleg, but it's missing a song called Iron God.
Mhm.
And I've almost bought it, but it's like 6 songs.
There's a full concert video on YouTube. Somebody that worked at the place obviously got a hold of the multi-camera
Yep.
shoot.
I've got the DVD in there on my shelf.
Yeah.
I have watched it.
So Ozzy with Sabbath 3 times, Ozzy with Halford once.
Which I would have killed to have seen that because
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I'm a fucking Halford fanboy, and Halford singing for Sabbath.
Whenever you see that concert brought up, which it happens on Facebook and Instagram every once in a while,
And it's actually happened 3 times.
Yeah. So I saw the second one, I think.
Yeah, so it happened 2 nights. It happened November, I think, 14th and 15th.
Costa Rica?
No, California. In like 92.
I thought he had to step in Costa Rica in 92.
I want to say it was California because that's actually. I take that back. What I have is that on DVD. What you saw, I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, the one that's on YouTube is the one that I saw. So
yeah,
I saw
the one in California. He had to do it because Dio wouldn't do it for some reason, and I think
because they were on the same show.
Yeah,
yeah. I saw Ozzy solo, I think 3 times, and then I saw Heaven and Hell, which I classify as Sabbath with Dio because it's the same lineup. I saw them
They
twice.
just didn't call it that legally. It's like I saw fucking
Yeah.
Weapons of Mass Destruction at Prog Power because Paul O'Neill wouldn't let them call themselves Savatage. It was fucking Savatage.
So I was supposed to see the Killing the Dragon tour at the Electric Factory in Philly, but something happened. I can't remember what. The day of the show, I couldn't go. So the only time that I was able to see Dio live were these two Heaven and Hell shows. Both of those Heaven and Hell shows for me were better than all of the other ones. The energy was there. The band, like, they felt young, even though like Iommi was doing his usual stand in one spot. Like, they felt young with Dio at the front. So like Dio impacted his band members in Sabbath far more than Halford or Ozzy ever could have. And even though Zach was always in Ozzy's solo band, the times that I saw him, with him running around and spinning the guitar around, even then couldn't match the energy that I felt seeing the Dio version of Sabbath live. So that's why I lean wholeheartedly in that direction.
All right, so Halford doesn't count so much because he was given basically no notice that he was going to fill in for them.
Right, and he was just reading off the teleprompter, like Ozzy would have anyway.
Yeah, he is
Dio never had
100% self-proclaimed the biggest Black Sabbath fan on the planet, but you can know every song by a band and get up there with them and lose where you are. It's just
because
you look every day.
You look to your left and there's Tony Iommi. You look to your right, there's Geezer Butler, and you got Bill Ward behind you on drums. What are you doing on that stage if you're not Ozzy or Dio?
But I think with Ozzy and Dio, it's vastly different between them. Ozzy is hit or miss live vocally.
Yeah.
But regardless of how he may sound, he's 100% a showman.
Running around, throwing water,
hose,
pulling his pants down. Like he doesn't care.
He is 100% a performer showman. Where you've got Dio that always prided himself on taking care of his voice, always trying to sound good. And so he's not running around doing all these theatrical antics. He is being an engaging frontman. He's got a shit ton of charisma because he's 5'4" and he's got to be 7 feet tall on stage. You know, like he's Ozzy's entertaining, Dio's captivating.
Another reason I gotta point it towards Dio, a point you were making with Ozzy about how he puts his whole self into it. I was at Dio's very last live performance that he ever did.
Radio City Music Hall.
No. It was at the House of Blues in Atlantic City.
Oh, I was thinking the Radio City Music Hall was the last gig. Okay.
No, Atlantic City. That was the last night of the tour. I got a free pair of tickets and Vinny drumsticks.
Radio City Music Hall, was that recorded for something?
That was the Heaven and Hell DVD.
Okay, that's where I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah. So, like, apparently he had, like, he obviously had stomach cancer at that time, because immediately after the Atlantic City show, he finally went to the doctor to see what was up, and he was diagnosed, and he never got back on stage again. So he was having stomach cancer pains while at that show, while singing perfectly. He sang perfectly with stomach cancer. The shit that he was singing. Another reason I got to give it to Dio.
Yeah, I remember sitting in my computer chair at my my townhouse that I lived in Athens the night that he died. I heard about it, and man, I was bummed out because that was the first fucking time I ever saw any metal band live. You know, I mean, my first show was Aerosmith, but my first metal show was Dio with fucking Hammerfall, which fit in beautifully. Hammerfall and Dio on tour together. Fuck yeah. King's X was in the middle. They had no fucking business being there. King's X should have been on another tour where I'm sure they would have done well, but no.
I saw King's X open for Dream Theater, and was it Joe Satriani? Was that the fucking
Honestly,
show?
like, that's not a bad lineup.
Was that the lineup? I might have seen Satriani on a different show like the same week. Hold on, what the fuck? I think Satriani opened for Dream Theater, or I'm going fucking nuts. It was like 2002, 2003. 2002 co-headlined in the US in August and September. Okay, so I'm not going fucking nuts.
Well, I mean, kind of while we're on this subject, because it is a little bit of a ham-fisted segue, you know, so we've got a couple of segments we're going to do on this show from time to time.
Trying to.
One was the record deal, where, you know, I'll show some cool records maybe I've gotten that week, or something that's on my mind. I'll probably show off a bunch of stuff after I get back from the Satan gig in Chicago in a couple of weeks, or in a few weeks rather, because I'm taking a shit ton of Blitzkrieg to have Brian sign, and the newest Satan album, and a couple other little things that need to get signed by them that I've missed the last few times seeing them live, because I just don't want to hand a stack of 50 records. It was bad enough I handed a stack of 30. But I took booze, and this time I'm taking better booze and more of it. Got to thank them somehow. But another segment that I think we're going to try to do on a regular basis, because
it keeps happening.
Bozarth here likes to run a fucking celebrity death pool, and it's a lot of goddamn fun.
Every year since 2007.
And you're not going to win shit other than a goddamn certificate, but it's a fucking certificate. And if you win it, you fucking display that motherfucker proudly. He won't print it for you and send it to you because he's a Jew. You have to print it yourself and frame it.
You spend 10 cents.
But obviously too late to do it this year. But if any of our few listeners are on Facebook and you're not already in the Bozarth Invitational Celebrity Death Pool, hit Will up by the end of the year with your list of 10 names for 2026, and you may be added. But people keep dying, and our senior fucking TMZ RIP correspondent over here.
TMZ RIP.
Oh, that just came off the top of the head. Yeah, boy, I like that. Has decided
trans man
to want to share these passings with the listeners. So with no further ado.
What celebrities died since our last show? There's only one way to know. Will Bozarth will tell you. So shut up and listen.
I'll let you take the driver's seat, buddy.
Actually, I'm going to let you take the driver's seat because this one meant more to you than it did to me.
Yeah. God damn it, this bummed me out. So I'm a fucking massive Annihilator fan. They are Canada's greatest export. I love Rush, but if you tell me that I have to choose between Rush and Annihilator, I'm picking Annihilator 100 times out of 100. Jeff Waters is my guitar god. Whenever anyone, talks about, oh, who's your greatest guitar player? Who's your favorite guitar player? Blah, 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 blah. People are going to say Eddie Van Halen. People may say Jeff Loomis. People may say this person. People may say that person. Jeff Waters is mine. Not the greatest guitarist to ever live, but goddamn, he's good. And he's written some of my favorite music ever. And so when he announced, it's been since the last episode that vocalist Coburn Farr, who sang on Never Neverland, passed away. That bummed me the fuck out because Coburn had basically retired from music. He was living life outside of the sphere of music and such, and Jeff was able to convince him to come back for 70,000 Tons of Metal, where he got up there and did some Never Neverland stuff. And I was really bummed that I've never been able to go on 70K because I wanted to see Annihilator, and they haven't played the US since 1993, I think. They set the World on Fire tour. And so my chances of seeing Annihilator are seem to be constantly dwindling away because they haven't played the United States, and they were doing the boat most every year for a little while there. But yeah, one of those years, be it 2018 or 2019, whenever it was, he got Coburn to come aboard and do some stuff. And that's probably my favorite Annihilator album. So that was doubly a punch in the gut. So now 2 of the 3 first 3-album vocalists are no longer with us. The other being
Damn.
Randy Rampage. So there go the hopes of going out on tour, doing stuff from the first 3 albums, which they have talked about doing. Stu from Into Eternity and Iced Earth, et cetera, who has also done some work with Annihilator, going out and doing Randy Rampage's parts, because has said for a while that Randy was one of his favorite vocalists and one of his favorite or biggest vocal influences rather. And then Coburn going out and doing the Never Neverland stuff, and then Aaron Randall going out and doing the Set the World on Fire stuff. But now you would have to find another singer to do Coburn stuff, and I just don't think it would be as special. I can get by without having one of the 3. I'm having 2 of the 3. It's starting to get a little bit into territory that I don't know. I mean, will I take it over No Annihilator? Fuck yes, but it's just not going to mean as much. So yeah, fucking bummed about that one.
Up next will be another singer. We have Roberta Flack, who you probably know from the Killing Me Softly with his song. Killing Me Softly. Well, apparently his song won, and Roberta Flack is no more. Up next, we have
I loved her in the Flack Tones.
The Flack. Up next, we have legendary Gene Hackman, died of mysterious circumstances.
They still ain't figured that shit out yet.
No, it's not carbon. So, in case anybody's been living under a rock, Gene Hackman, 94, 95-year-old. 95 years old, had a wife in her 60s. Go Gene Hackman.
Boy!
He's robbing the cradle there. So apparently Gene, his wife, and one of their dogs was found dead after
the
not
dog
being hurt.
Is what bums me the fuck out, because they had 3 dogs and 2 of the dogs were fine. The one dog that died because he was locked in his kennel, and he probably starved to death and died of thirst.
So Gene was found by like the back door, which was cracked open. So the door was open, and he was found on the ground next to his sunglasses, and his wife was found like around the bathroom area with a bunch of pills strewn about, and the dog was found in what sounds like a closet inside of a kennel, which I was like, a closet, but like a lot of these famous rich people have closets that are like as big as rooms. So like, what do you call a closet? So I kind of figured it would be like carbon monoxide, the 3 of them dying like that. But apparently there was no carbon monoxide or anything found in their system. So I don't think we'll ever really know what happened. All we do know is Gene Hackman's pacemaker stopped on the 17th, and it took like almost like a week and a half, 2 weeks for them to be discovered after that. So we don't know if his wife saw him dead on the floor and she took pills to kill herself, and the dog died of starvation, or like there's a lot of different things that could have happened. Did the wife poison her husband and then she killed herself? Were they murdered? Says Randy Quaid.
I just want to know what he had on Hillary Clinton.
I think that's what everybody would like to know. Up next, we have Mr. George Lowe, who was the voice of Space Ghost, of a Space Ghost Coast to Coast fame. And we have David Johansen, frontman of New York Dolls. And for me personally, I'm a bigger fan of his role as the that cab driver in Scrooged with Bill Murray. Michelle.
What was his fucking other name? Buster Poindexter? Was that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Michelle Trachtenberg, who was on Pete and Pete back in the day. She, I think her name was.
Fuck,
Nona.
I forgot all about Pete and Pete. Everybody was talking about fucking Buffy and Euro Trip. I completely forgot about Pete and Pete. Holy shit.
For me, she's Pete and Pete.
Fuck yeah. Now that you've said it, I remember.
Yep. Nona Is her name Nona?
That sounds right. Because
Something?
I never watched Buffy. I couldn't give a fuck. And Eurotrip was great.
Oh yeah, never cared about Buffy either. Over here we have Mr. Adam Krutinger, who a lot of people probably are not aware of. He was a kind of popular YouTuber that would teach people the art of puppetry and building puppets. He also helped some of the Henson puppet builders, and he gave a lot of free resources online for people to print out templates and stuff. So all you really needed if you wanted to get into building puppets, which I had an interest in for a while, and I still do actually. But he gave the best tutorials and he gave classes. And about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, he was diagnosed with brain cancer, and it was a big roller coaster up and downhill for a while. Like the brain tumors went away and things looked fine, and then started having grand mal seizures, and then it was all inoperable, and he was in hospice for like the last week or 2 weeks or something like that.
That's the shitty one too, is like, you get brain cancer or you get some really serious form of cancer, and then you think you're getting better, and then it comes back even worse. It's like, all right, if I get cancer, I don't want the false hope. It's either gonna kill me or I get better. Like, don't give me the false hope bullshit. That was what fucking sucked so much about my former roommate, one of my best friends, Adam. He kept telling me and others, hey, yeah, I'm getting better, I'm getting better, I'm getting better. He wasn't getting better. He was, a super positive human being who I think he thought that the power of positivity would heal him in addition to the chemo and everything else. But then I find out from people that like his bandmates and such, and his brothers, people that he confided in with more than me. Because I mean, he was a good friend of mine. He was a very good friend of mine, but he wasn't my best friend or vice versa. We were roommates for 2 years, and we talked a good amount of the time and such. But I consider you one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Him and I were not as close as you and I. And so, he kind of confided in them that things weren't getting better and so on and so forth. And he resented it and felt alone and such. And part of that's because he was telling everybody he was going to be fine. And so no one was having any urgency. So, seeing someone like that who's getting better, like you said, it seemed like the tumors and stuff were going down or went away. And then there was, maybe remission and then coming back again, or maybe it never actually went into remission, but they shrunk enough to where they thought that, hey, we're out of the woods. And then to see that happen, that sucks.
And the crazy thing, like he had a wife, 2 kids. And then when I was researching more about it, I was like, he was 1 year younger than me.
Ugh.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, Adam was only a few years older than me. And then my buddy, well, I guess that doesn't count. That's suicide. I was going to say another friend of mine was significantly younger than me by like 5 years, but that's kind of
a
little more than that. But like,
that doesn't count.
Seeing people that die of medical issues
at
or even younger than your age sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like it's that punch in the gut of, oh yeah, I am in fact mortal and I am going to fucking die one day. Which is, why I've started trying to get on the elliptical more and work out a little more. And, you said earlier you've been trying to get back on the saddle of doing that a little more too and such.
That's the side effect of watching UFC. I mean, I've always loved watching people beat the shit out of each other. And for whatever reason, it triggered a part of my brain that was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Fucking Rogan talks about he'll get on the treadmill and put on a fight and just run and fucking watch the fight at the same time because it hypes him up.
I find myself lifting like dumbbells. Like it's crazy. Like you're like, oh no, that's just some like weird hyper masculine shit. I'm like, I'm not hyper fucking masculine. No, like it just triggers some kind of weird primal caveman fucking bullshit. I have no idea.
It's just as long as the dumbbell you're not lifting is you on a noose up a beam.
I don't know if I'd be able to be held. The house was built a long time ago. But
now, are you training because
No.
you're watching this and you're just like, yeah, this is fucking fitness, hooray? Or are you training because you're just like, they've got that amateur fighting league, maybe I can win a couple of $100?
Not that one. All right, so I'm sure some people listening or watching this, if you're still watching it an hour and a half into it,
We'll be done in a few.
Yeah, a few hours. So the heaviest that I ever got was back in 2018. I was 270, which, I mean, people listening or whatever, they're like, oh, 270 is no, but like for me personally, like 270 was the biggest I ever got.
Yeah, my heaviest was like 232, but I'm also just shy of 5'9". How tall are you?
5'11" ish.
Okay.
5'10" maybe. Yeah, 5'10". I say 5'10". But yeah, so I got up to 270, which, like, looking back at pictures and shit, I'm like, holy shit. And I using DDP yoga and a potato diet that I found out from Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller, which was all you eat is one russet potato, no salt. Yeah, you can do like 0-calorie things like putting Tabasco sauce or whatever.
Black pepper.
Yeah, black pepper, but nothing with like no salt, no sodium, like that. And using that, I got from 270 down to 183. And recently I found myself hovering back around 230, which, like, looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What am I doing to myself? Like, I go to work, I come home, I sit down in the recliner, get up to go to the bathroom, sit back down in the recliner, pass out watching TV, go upstairs, go to sleep, repeat the process every fucking day. That shit catches up to you. And sure, 230 compared to what I was, like, I can't even imagine being 270 now. I'm like, that's a lot of weight added to what I am now. But even then, I'm like, I gotta fucking change this shit around. And so, like, where I work, my boss is pretty cool. So in one of the training rooms, which is like a little classroom, it's not like weight training or anything. In the training meeting room, he set up a weight bench and different barbells and dumbbells. There's a stationary bike and a treadmill. And I've been getting to work a little earlier, and dedicating my 2 15-minute breaks and my half-hour lunch to running on the treadmill, lifting the weights. I don't know what I weigh right now. I'm gonna wait another week. And all I've been, I mean, I obviously had this fucking gin and juice, laid back, drink, and
your money and your money on your mind.
You should listen to the
No, I'm good.
Richard Cheese version of that.
I've heard it.
Yeah, but yeah, like, so I'm like, I don't like how I look, and like having the at this point, I still have to hold my breath if I have to bend over to tie my fucking shoes. Like, no, I used to look all right, and now I don't. So for somehow watching the UFC shit made me realize I need to get that shit figured out. So like a beer here and there, but like there's no soda anymore. It's just water, or where you're from, water. Or you say the word.
Water.
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 No, they used to fuck with me at the theater because we showed that movie The Water Horse one time, and they'd be like, "Hey, Brent, what's that movie? Water Horse? Yeah, Water Horse."
Water horse.
Fuck off.
Water horse?
Yeah, water horse.
Walter horse.
Water horse. You know, one of them squirter whores.
Water white.
Yeah. I am the danger.
But yeah, so watching UFC is being healthy, beneficially, sort of, for me, I guess. We'll find out. I think I'm going to stick with it because it's been a while since I've been doing running and shit, and I forgot how good that it sucks while you're doing it, but afterwards, after you get all the sweat off of you, it actually feels good. Yeah, you feel awake. And
Yeah,
I'd like to maintain that.
I despise running. I hate it. I don't.
So do I.
I won't do it. I have a exercise bike here that I don't care for. That I was using for a while begrudgingly, but in my neighborhood, somebody had set out an elliptical. And I was like, fuck, I'll take it. So I loaded it in the back of the RAV4, got it over here to the house, and I use it. I try to do 4 nights a week. Sometimes I'm able to do 5.
Cool.
For 30 minutes. Going pretty good click. I usually burn between like 350 to 400 calories over 30 minutes on it.
Respectable.
And I'll either listen to a podcast or pull up, Hot Ones or something or another on my spare laptop that I have in there by it. And I just try to do whatever I can to keep my mind occupied while I'm doing it so that I don't keep looking at my watch. But I've got the fitness tracker thing on here, so it tells me how many calories I'm burning, what my heart rate is and such. And, I do that because I eat like a fucking possum and I'm trying to do something. I think right now I weigh like between 213 and 216 maybe.
Okay.
Which sucks because before the holidays I'd gotten down to like 205, and then the holidays hit, and then I came right back up again, and I've been eating a fucking bunch of junk food lately. Girl Scout cookies are in season, and I'm just like, fuck. So I bought a bunch of Girl Scout cookies. I'm not eating them by the handful. I'm having a couple a day or so, but still,
yeah,
they add up.
I don't know if I could be classified as a food addict, but I have really bad eating habits.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too. 100%.
I always have to finish every single thing that's on my plate, even though I know I could save it for lunch the next day. I find myself staring in the cabinets or in the fridge or freezer, trying to find something not even if I'm hungry, I'm just eating compulsively just because I can.
Yep.
No,
although I will say I'm proud of myself because like fucking 10, 12 years ago, I'd eat a large pizza in a sitting.
Yeah.
And I'd feel awful. Now,
extra large.
Now, if her and I go to Domino's, we'll each get a large pizza and we'll get like a pepperoni stuffed cheese bread to share between us.
Yeah.
And that will last me for 2 days. I'll typically get 3 meals out of it. I'll have whatever I eat right then, and then like breakfast the next morning, I'll eat a couple of slices or 3. Typically when I'm done, I've eaten like 2 slices and then like half of the fucking cheesy bread, and then she's had half of the cheesy bread, and then the next day for like breakfast, I'll have 3 slices, and then the next night, because I'm not a big lunch person, the next night I'll have 3 pieces. So I've at least gotten to the point now where I could split a fucking large pizza into mostly 3 meals as opposed to 1, where it used to be game over.
I think it's I have a bad self-control problem is the issue.
Have you seen my record collection? Jesus fuck.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm the same with autographs and shit. Like I need it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pizza, if there's a pizza in front of me, it's going away. Like I even now I can't. Like sometimes we do pizza nights and the fuck, like I have to get a pizza. She gets her own pizza. She always has leftovers and shit, and I'm always done mine.
I remember that fucking pizza you and I goddamn murdered after Hill's Heroes.
I
don't even think we had left the fucking parking lot yet. We're walking to the fucking car eating that son of a bitch.
And it wasn't even of good quality. It was just pizza out of a truck.
Out of a truck, and it had probably been sitting there for an hour.
Okay, so that was my first that was my introduction to that style of pizza delivery. Like, I don't know if they have that kind of weird ass shit near you in
No.
Minnesota or wherever the fuck you are.
No.
They don't have it here in Jersey. I've never seen it. There was a guy, there was a gentleman in like a beat up looking fucking weird ass, like a short mail truck looking kind of thing. And like,
It was like a Schwann's delivery truck, but much
Yeah.
smaller. And instead of freezers,
better.
it was like hot boxes.
and like he opened it up and like you can like pull a pizza out of it. Like, okay, so like they have at Little Caesars.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the hot and ready pizzas where they have a bunch of them stacked up. You say, give me a pepperoni.
These were not hot and
boom.
ready. These were hot and past their prime.
No, yeah, like this was definitely made earlier in the evening, or
Yeah.
if not the afternoon.
Yeah.
But it was still a pizza. It was
When you're
good.
buzzed, it's 1 a.m. and you're fucking starving.
Yeah.
It was manna from heaven.
Yeah.
If you're sober at 2 p.m, no, I want no part of it.
But yeah, the pizza's good.
I love pizza.
Me plus pizza equals danger. It's not good. But Catherine started to make like homemade flatbread pizzas and stuff with like whatever the fuck I want on it, and like she makes it the correct size that a human being should eat. So those are the pizzas I prefer, because I'm not eating an entire fucking planet's worth of pizza in one sitting, which it'll happen.
Like a week ago, I had a free medium pizza on my Domino's app.
Yeah.
And I came home from work. I was just like, man, I'm fucking hungry. Domino's is 2 blocks away.
Emergency
I'm just gonna go get
pizza.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went and got it, and I ate all of it save for one piece. Now, granted, it was a pan. It was a medium-sized pan pizza. I ate all of it save for one piece, and I was fucking miserable. So I don't know how I used to eat a large pizza by myself.
See, this is where my this is the only point in my life where my Jewishness actually comes in. I'm fucking god awful with money, and I am being punished because of it. Boy, am I having issues. But that's besides the fucking.
I thought the I in IRS stood for Israel. Can't you get a break?
God. Woo! S stands for Saul. R stands for
rape.
Yeah. But yeah, like I wind up getting, so here's my problem. Is my self-control thing. So so anybody with a brain knows that a properly cut pizza has 8 pieces.
Yeah, unless you're one of those fucking retards that does the square cut, like it's the Midwest thing. It's just like,
so I'm talking like New York, like a proper pizza. I'm fine with a square fucking pizza. I love a square pizza.
Yeah, it's got 17 pounds of cheese on it. You don't shit for a week.
Yeah. So I'm talking about the classic fucking 8 slice.
A fucking slice.
We're talking a pie here. We're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza. Understand? The turtles love pizza, and they got a fucking pizza pushed down through the fucking grate in the sewer. Right through the
manhole. You know that thing you have when you bend over? Manhole.
Oh, you mean those things that are right in front of my face every Saturday night
at the truck stop?
Yeah.
Calm down, Rob Halford.
Exit 3 on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Oh yeah, it's your third exit. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, but so here's my problem. In my brain, I'm like, I'm gonna eat 4 of these. I'm gonna put the rest in the fridge, right? So as I'm working with the pizza, I have my crushed red pepper container, and I'm like, fucking, here we go. Spice this shit up. I scarf down the first 4 slices in like, I don't know, half a second.
I do scorpion pepper flakes on mine, and my butthole hurts the next day.
You know, up to this point, I never thought about finding a different kind of pepper flake.
Oh, dude, we fucking buy this shit online. I'll send you the link. It's fucking badass.
I gotta try different pepper flakes. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So that's terrible news for everybody involved, but especially my plumber, Mario. So I ate the first 4 slices. I'm like, oh, that's delicious. So then I'm like taking sexy glances at the other half of the pizza that are available, and I notice one of them has a couple pepper flakes on it, and I'm like, well, that looks pretty fucking good. So I grab that slice of pizza. So then I eat that slice of pizza, which is 5/8 of a full pizza, and I'm like, there's 3 slices of pizza left. I can't. Half a pizza I can keep in the box, but once you remove one of those slices, you get down to 3/8. You're like, all right, I'm gonna put these bitches in the Ziploc and then immediately put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I put them in there. Then I go back, sit down, watch TV. I'm like,
There's pizza in the fridge.
I'm like, that's an odd number, 3. I'll just grab one more slice out of the fridge.
You could have stopped at 4, you fat fuck.
Yeah. And then I'm like, we got a hanger on over here. We got a dingleberry in our midst. We got a third wheel in this date, this pizza date. So that one piece of pizza that's for some reason not connected to the other 2, and it's in its own Ziploc bag and it's in its own jail cell. I'm like, all right, you were sentenced to death, and we were able to move your date up a little bit, and you're being executed right now. Corporal punishment for Little Caesar. I apologize, Ebenezer Caesar, whatever the fuck your name is. So I eat that one piece of pizza, and I'm
Or as
like,
my buddy calls it, little sleazers.
Little Caesars. So that piece of pizza is gone, leaving 2/8, which is 1/4 for those of you good at math. What's up, Asian people? Anyway, then I'm like, 2 slices of pizza. When am I going to eat that? Like, I'm not going to bring that to work tomorrow. Am I going to eat it tomorrow? Like, I don't want 24-hour-old pizza. And I wind up eating those last 2 slices. And this
Buddy,
this is over the span of an evening.
I just sent you a link to the Amazon store for Sonoran Spice Company.
Okay.
And yeah, dude, some of that stuff will, as they say, put your dick in the dirt. We bought a 3-pack.
So I'll be fucking Mother Earth.
Super hot flakes, which would
habanero
be
powder,
ghost pepper, Trinidad Scorpion,
yeah,
and Carolina Reaper.
I'm not a fan of Carolina Reaper, not because of the heat, but because of the taste.
Fair enough.
My favorite pepper taste is the habanero. And up top, I see habanero powder, 8 ounces.
Yeah, you can get powder or you can get flakes.
So powder, is it just over 300,000 Scoville heat units, sweet topical flavor? Man, I gotta try this.
Dude, it's
I gotta try this.
I mean, it ain't cheap.
Yeah.
3 what is this? 1 ounce bottles, 3 of them for $33. I mean,
I'm gonna do some Googling. I'm gonna find another company that does similar things. Where's the great value habanero powder?
I'm just saying it don't take much, buddy. I get some and I shake some out on the pizza, and then I was like, oh, I'm
excited.
Yeah, it's good shit. On that note, though, we're gonna fucking run out of time on StreamYard for the month.
Yeah. We'll cover this other stuff.
Else you wanted to cover?
Not in the amount of time that's left, so that's fine.
All right. Well, yeah, we're at 1 hour 50 right now. I think we get 5 hours a month on here. I deleted the other episodes out of StreamYard earlier because I have them saved locally on my computer. Yeah. But in terms of output that we're able to put out through our podcaster, I think it's 5 hours a month or something other like that. So that's why we want to try to keep these down to, half an hour, 45 minutes. But
The
then,
original
as
plan
you
was
see
a half
today,
hour.
we fucking just go off out in the weeds. But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this direction. Like, we're having fun. I'm enjoying this way more than I enjoyed the Bastard Cast, and I enjoyed the Bastard Cast.
100%.
The only reason I stopped it was because my internet sucked. My internet doesn't suck now. We're having fun. It's not dropping in and out. I would like to think that everything's being, fairly organic. We're not forcing anything through. We're just trying to find our footing, and as long as everybody sticks with us, we're going to keep doing it until we just don't feel like doing it anymore. But I'm nowhere near that point thus far, at least.
And I get to do fun production pieces.
Yeah, your fucking celebrity deaths and the Brent's record things. When you sent those to me last week, I was just like, dude, this is fucking great. I'm enjoying this. So, I guess that's everything. I don't know when we're going to see you guys again. It'll probably be next weekend. So, today being the 6th, most likely not the 8th. There is a UFC pay-per-view this weekend. 313. I don't know if we're going to get around to watching it or not. May, kind of leaning on maybe not. I don't know if I got other stuff going on. But so I would say the weekend of the 14th, you will probably see us again. And until then, for old time's sake, go fuck yourselves, everybody.
Eating a meal, a succulent feast. This is my crime. Oh, what a beast. Why do you charge me for what I feel? Is it wrong to enjoy a Chinese meal? Now as I bid you my farewell, know this tale that I'm here to tell. Innocence stripped away so fast, a humble man's dreams at last.